Puglisi here with Sports Talk. I'm here with Johnny Ahern from Rider University's ice hockey team. How are you doing today, John?
I'm quite well. How are you?
I'm good. How has the team been looking this year?
We started off really well. Started off, I believe, at 9-2. Beat some really good teams like William Patterson and Penn State main campus. But unfortunately, we've hit a little bit of a road bump right now, a little bit of a cold streak. But, you know, it's a long season, so hopefully we can bounce back because we are a really good team, just like we played in the beginning of the season. Like, we beat a team like William Patterson. They're ranked #1 in the Northeast, and everyone thinks they're the best team in the nation, and we're their only loss. So we can really play with the best teams in the country. We just need to remember it.
That's really good. How have the freshmen been contributing this far?
Any contribution you get from the freshmen, it's always a positive because you got to remember it's a whole new game to them. Game's faster, game's more physical. The guys are bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. So really, just any contribution you get from the freshmen is good because they are adjusting. You got to remember they're not only adjusting to college ice hockey, they're still adjusting to college, and they're dealing with a different lifestyle than they're used to. So just any contribution you can get from the freshmen can only help the team.
How do you think the injury to Tyler will affect teams play in his absence?
It's a big loss. Tyler's a really good player, definitely on our first line. Him and Pat, they have the ability to dominate games. Tyler went down with an unfortunate injury against Rowan. It's a complete cheap shot from the player on Rowan. So it's a tough loss. He's going to be out for a while, so hopefully we can get him back before second semester starts. And what we always say is it's the next man up. So Tyler goes down, the next man up has to help out the team because we're losing Tyler's production, but we're still filling his roster spot. So this is a chance for players who are not getting as much minutes to step up and really start proving to the coaching staff that they deserve more time, especially for when Tyler comes back.
How do you replace a player like Tyler?
It's really hard to replace a player like Tyler. He does so many things well, offensively, defensively. Tyler's only like 5'7", like 140 pounds, but whenever he's in a battle for the puck, he always gets it. Tyler's one of those players who knows what is going to happen on the ice before players who are like dealing with the action know what's going on. So it's going to be a very tough loss losing a player like Tyler. Him, Pat, and Chris have such an unbelievable connection through playing through club organizations all their life. So hopefully we can get him back relatively soon, but it is a very big loss for our team.
Now, I know you have been battling an injury, a 9-month-long concussion.
Yeah.
That's a really long time.
Yeah, it's quite the long time. Definitely never expected it to last as long. Like I've had concussions before. Some people say I've had like 50, but it's not true.
Concussion king.
Yeah, concussion king. That's what some people call me. Yeah, but I've had them before. They never really lasted that long. I've had one that lasted 3 weeks, one that lasted 6 weeks, and one that was only there for like a week or two or something like that. So I never expected 9 months for still having symptoms.
What's the hardest part about your concussion?
The hardest part is not knowing when it's going to go away. Like if you broke your foot or something like that, you know, doctor tells you, okay, you'll be fine in 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. It's different with the brain because I have no timetable when I'm going to be cleared. I can do light workouts at best, basically for only 15 minutes before my head starts hurting. So that's definitely the worst part because you don't know when it's going to get better. Like there's people that I know who've had concussions and they've had them longer than I have, which I didn't think was possible, but they've had them longer than I have. So it's just really just the worst because you don't know when it's going to go away.
What have you been doing to help your team out during your absence?
I try and stick around as much as I can. Like I recently started skating in practice, just helping out in drills and stuff like that, just trying to pick up the intensity in practice. Still hang around with the guys a lot. I'm on the exec board for Rider Ice Hockey Team. I'm the vice president of communications, so I'm in charge of making sure people still come to games. People come to the games, having big events on campus and like that. So I'm definitely trying to hang around and be involved in as much as I can, especially since I'm not playing. I still got to find a way to fill the void of hockey.
What have you been doing to prepare for your return?
I've seen a neurologist about 2 or 3 times. I've recently started physical therapy. They realized the problem is in my eyes. If anyone's familiar with Chris Pronger, that's what he's dealing with, and that's what I'm dealing with as well. So basically, I have to reteach my brain how to deal with quick movements, quick motions, and whatnot. When a lot of action or activity is going on, I have to reteach my brain how to deal with that. So I recently started therapy. I go about 3 times a week for an hour. Basically, they make me do the simplest tasks that I've done 1,000 times before, but this time they give me symptoms and doing it and whatnot, so they pick up the intensity and whatnot. So physical therapy works for concussions is they get rid of your symptoms by giving you symptoms while you're at physical therapy. So when I'm at physical therapy, I have the most pounding headache ever. But eventually for the rest of the day and the days after that, like I'll be completely fine. It's really weird. I don't know how it works, but I'm not doubting it.
Sounds pretty rough.
Yeah, it is pretty rough.
When do you think you'll return?
Hopefully very soon. It's been really tough because I haven't really played in a game-like situation since the injury happened back in February. So hopefully I can come back relatively soon. A realistic goal is possibly second semester when I really want to come back. But I'm still not cleared for contact. I'm still not cleared for like intense workouts. I'm only allowed to work out for 20 minutes at a time, tops, twice a week. So I'm still, I have to get back into shape and whatnot. Get ready to come back. Get ready. Get used to game situations and whatnot. Because if I come back, I want to come back like full swing. Like I don't want to just be a situational player. I want to come back to what I was before, like a top 4 defenseman, getting a lot of minutes and whatnot. So
When are your symptoms the worst?
my symptoms are the worst. Or like say I'm watching a basketball game or something like that. There's a lot of activity or commotion going around. Like say I need to cross the street and there's cars coming both ways, and I keep turning back and forth to see if like there's no cars coming. That's really when it's bad or whatnot. When there's a lot of quick movement and motion happening, that's when they really are the worst. And the symptoms really just pop up at the most random times. Like I could just be walking and there's people walking in front of me and they're crossing like this way. It's really weird. It just gives me a headache. It's really odd.
That must be really tough with school and homework.
It can be at times, especially when you have to study in bulk or you have a lot of assignments, like especially late in the semester, you get a lot of assignments. Teachers are trying to cram before the breaks and whatnot. So it can be tough, but the way I look at it is I'm not going to use it as an excuse. Most of my professors don't even know that I have had a concussion for 9 months because I don't want to use it as an excuse for a reason why I didn't do something, because then it's giving myself a mental excuse on why not to do my homework or why not to study for the test. Like, oh, the teacher might give me a break because I have a concussion, or I could say I tried studying but my head was hurting. I don't want to use that excuse because then my grades will suffer, and especially trying to get a job, can't have my grades suffer. So I'm definitely not using this concussion as an excuse. I just work around it. So say if I'm studying in bulk, start getting a headache from the symptoms and whatnot, then I just stop, give myself a little break, and then resume studying when I don't have any symptoms.
Back to hockey. How have you been coping with watching the team on their losing streak?
It's been really tough, especially considering how well we started and some of the teams we beat in the beginning of the season. We've been right in the games. We haven't been like blown out or anything. It's just the puck's not bouncing our way. It's a long season. You're going to hit bumps like this. I didn't think it was going to last this long, but unfortunately it has. So hopefully we can bounce back. It has been very tough watching the team go through such a losing streak, because we are a really good team. We have talent up and down the roster. So it really doesn't make sense of why it's still going on this long, but it's something that we're dealing with, and we're going to have to work through it.
What do you think has been the reason for the recent slump the team's been on?
It's just we haven't played a full 60 minutes. That's one thing our coach always harps on. We either have a terrible first period and have a good second and third period, but we don't play a complete 60-minute game. And if you don't play complete 60-minute games, the teams in this league are good. They're going to capitalize on the 20 minutes that you're not playing well. So we're usually going into the second period already down 2-0. Then we're trying to climb back into the game, and it's exhausting trying to consistently come back when you're down instead of playing with a lead. So that's been our biggest problem, is starting off slow or just not finishing the games. Like the Rowan game, we had a great first 22 periods, but we didn't finish the third period. We have 5-2 going into the third, and then we lost 7-6 in a shootout. So that's just a game we didn't close out. We've been right in games. We're just not playing a full, complete game.
And what's the key to turning this around?
Just playing hard work, playing a full 60 minutes. We realize that we're going through a streak. Right now it's not good, so we need to pick up the intensity, outmatch our opponent's intensity, work harder than them, because the puck's not going our way. But if we outwork the other team, then the pucks will start bouncing our way. We'll force these situations for the puck to bounce away. So we play 60 minutes, play a complete game, and then just outwork our opponents, and we should end this streak, hopefully.
What are your predictions on how they will come out of this?
It's a huge week. It's a huge weekend. We're going down to Virginia, playing Virginia Tech Friday night, and then Liberty Saturday afternoon. We went on this same trip last year. It's really where we started to pick up momentum. Last year we took a 3 out of a possible 4 points. We beat Liberty and then lost Virginia Tech in the shootout. So we really need to take advantage of this weekend. When you're going through a streak like this, sometimes it's just good to get away, just hang out with the boys, relax in the hotel rooms, and just not really focus on hockey until you have to before the game. So this is a perfect time because you're going on a 9-hour bus ride with them. You're going to be like sharing the same hotel room with them, so you really need to. It's a perfect time for the team to get back together, get back like the family feeling that we had in the beginning of the season when we were on a hot streak, and get this feeling back so we can turn this thing around.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for talking with us today. Be sure to tune in next week. Stay classy, Rider University.